Hi guys and girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. Thanks for tuning back in. Thanks for coming back to see me. I'm really pleased you've done so, and I'm exceptionally pleased about to bring you another watch from my AliExpress summer sale video. It's the AD2065, obviously an Addiesdive. It's a watch that really captured my imagination at the time. You could buy it for like £50. It looked immaculate. It's sort of based loosely or has drawn inspiration from sort of like a Grand Seiko style of watch. The way they seem to executed it though, and the indices and stuff like that, it looked ever so premium, and it had a Ronda Quartz movement inside that I was like, I needed to get one in. You'd have seen it in my watch haul video, so thanks for tuning if you saw that. This is the full review. For me, I wanted to see if it really added up to what the sort of monetary value you could get out of it, sort of like the escapement times of the past and stuff, because this one looked unbelievable. When I had it in hand, I was impressed. You'd have seen in the watchable video, the second hand didn't line up, which on quartz pieces is one of my biggest bugbears. Even on inexpensive ones, it just drives me nuts. But the rest of the watch, what are we saying? What are we thinking? Because now I've had it on wrist for some time. I think I'm in a good place to be able to tell you what I think. So yeah, by the time we get to the end of the video, hopefully you'll know if it's for you or not. If it is, please use the affiliate link in the description. It doesn't cost you any more. Makes your life a bit easier. What's helping the channel out? What can I say? But yeah. Anyway, I'll stop going on. You want to see the watch? It's about that time to get the camera turned around and get on with it. Hi guys, so this is the watch. You'll see usual packaging. Addiesdive, briefcase style, sticker, clips to keep it in place. You got the inner foam. You got a hang tag. I've taken a few. How many links did I take off? Let me just double check. I believe it was free, but you never know. Yeah, free, and you got a tool to help me size it. I didn't use that tool. I've got my own, but it's there if you need it. But we don't need to talk about that too much. What we want to do is we want to see this bad boy. So, first impressions are quite good, aren't they? It looks nice. So this is the AD2065. There is another color variation I'll bring up next to me. So this is the cream dial. You can also get just a white dial. Really nice looking watch. Looks like a really nice dressy piece, doesn't it? So yeah, the AD2065. Inside this watch, it's running a Swiss quartz movement. I kid you not, a Swiss movement for this watch. It's the Ronda 515.24H. Been running really well, to be honest. Not that I was surprised. It's a Swiss movement in it. What would you expect? They don't mess about. They're the Swiss when it comes to horology. They've been the kings for a long time. I do think the Chinese and Japanese are having something to say now, as well as other countries. They're making some exceptional watches. Venezianico in Italy, just one that I really like as well. But yeah, it's a good movement. You're always going to be happy to get a Swiss movement, especially in an affordable watch like this is. So there we are. The construction of the watch, aside from the crystal, is all 316L stainless steel. A nice finishing on it. You've got the polishing, brushing at the top. Brushing, polishing throughout. So that's the fixed bezel, crown, case, bracelet, solid endings, case back, and the clasp as well is all 316L stainless steel, mixture of brushing and polishing throughout, and I'll talk about that in a moment, I'm sure. The case thickness of this watch is 11mm. The case diameter I measured from the 8 to the 2. It was coming at a bang on 37mm. When you go from the 9 to the 3, including the crown, it was coming at 39.7mm. The lug width on this is 19. Don't get me started. Tapering down to 16 and back up to 18mm with the clasp. And the lug to lug, tip to tip of the watch was coming at a bang on 46mm. So, guys, really good proportions. Lots and lots of people are going to like this watch. Some it may be a bit too small for, but I like these sort of size watches. So, yeah, good proportions. The bezel, fixed bezel, high polished, as I mentioned, screw down crown at the 3 o'clock. You've got the screw down case back with all the information on there, which is lovely to see. You've got a bit of taper on the bracelet. It does taper down from 19 down to 16. I would love to have seen that being a 20mm. I don't know why that isn't, but yeah, 19 it is. Push pins, just to help size it out. You'll see the directional arrows. Obviously, you use them, push it in the direction it says, and then do it the other way around when you put it back in. Fully more clasp. Again, this clasp is not sharp. I was talking about it for so many times, and it's been okay, which is good to see. Deep etch on the top of the clasp. Five levels of micro adjustment. You'll see that I'm using one. So when I took the 4 links out, it was too tight. Well, I did it this way. It fit so much better. So that's why I've done it. As I'm showing it to you, you'll see the sort of level of finishing. And like I said, for the price that I'll bring up in front of me, I think that is really, really cool. Really, really nice. The crystal covering the dial is a mineral crystal. I've got to be honest, guys. I know this is an inexpensive watch, but I'd like to have seen this watch with um, sapphire crystal. I would have had it on the AD2063. I would like to have seen it extended here, but it's not. So there we are. That is what it is. The water resistance you'd have seen on the case back is 100 meters, so that would give you 10 atmospheres of water resistance, and the weight will appear in the top right. So with those two links removed, it was coming at 101.3 grams. Still very light, given the proportions, given the dimensions and stuff. Yeah, probably hardly surprising. But let's have a look at the dial in a bit more detail. So you'll see the crystal is quite domed. I never mind that. You can see they put a fair bit of AR coating on there because you've got the blue hues coming through. But you've got a minute track going around the outer edge. The only part you haven't is a part of that minute track is sort of like loom filled. We'll talk about that in a moment. Is every hour, so it doesn't. You haven't got that little black line. Inside that, you've got applied indices everywhere except for the 6 o'clock, which is where they put the date. I love the date in that position. It's my favorite position to have the date, which is cool. Like I said, the indices, they look like it's the same from the AD2063, which is no bad thing. I love the way they're faceted. I love the way it plays with the light. You got the hands. The hands proportions are really good. Nice finishing on there. Very similar to this 2063 as well, apart from the fact that they've obviously opened it up a little bit and they've got loom entered into center, which we will talk about in a few moments. Like I said, you got, so it goes inside that you got 24-hour. I'm guessing that's to allow you to set the second time zone, given you haven't got it on the bezel, which is fine. It's still functional. It still allows you to use another time zone. Lots of people set watches up for 3 time zones. I've never been clever enough to do that, so I normally just do it for 2. I think it's normally to do with the bezel, time on the inside, and also your normal time. But yeah, most I ever use these watches for is 2, so this will be fine. But below the 24-hour, you've got Addiesdive printed onto the dial. Above the date window, which is white. Maybe that could have been done a little bit different, where it's not much white elsewhere, but where it is and stuff, it's not too intrusive. It doesn't look too offensive. Above that date, you got GMT that's written onto the dial as well. Nothing's been applied apart from the indices in terms of but people are going to like the fact they've not put the logo on their sort of dressier pieces. I think it's nice that they've omitted it, so that's good to see. You got that sort of creamy dial, which we saw on the other one as well. I do like it, but then again, you have got the white dial to choose from as well, if you so wish. You're now wondering, so they took the time and effort to put loom on it. Was it worthwhile? And I'm going to be honest, the loom on this, it was okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. I struggled to get it to focus for long enough, and I don't know what it was, but it didn't seem to fade that much. But there wasn't enough light drawn for it to focus, if you know what I mean. It wasn't too bad though. It wasn't great. It wasn't going to win any bloody awards or anything. But I mean, it was good. It was decent. Yeah, it was okay. Yeah, I don't know, good, decent, whatever. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It's sort of in middle, whatever you term that to be. That's what it was. But for the sort of dressy piece it was, I would have been quite happy for them to have the same hands and indices as the other one. To be honest, I don't think it needed loom at all. So they went for it. Didn't quite hit. Didn't really miss either. So it is what it is. Like I said, GMT movement, quartz movement. You take it out, it will hack. Put it back in, it starts back up again. You see that? I won't set the time. But we turn this towards you. You'll see now. So that's now going to tell me it's now 8:15 in the evening somewhere else. If it was 8:15 in the morning here, and if you turn it this way, you'll see I can change the date. And then you just screw it up. There's not a lot to these movements, to be honest, guys. With quartz movements, generally, you don't tend to interact with them as much as you do autos, given you obviously need to wind them and whatever. So, but with quartz, you don't do that, do you? So there's a little bit less interaction. But that's the hands, indices, dial, movement, loom. Let me just pop it on the wrist quickly to give you an idea of what it looks like on my wrist. One moment, guys. Okay, so guys and girls, this is what it looks like on my wrist. And it's a pretty thing, isn't it? There's enough about it to be extremely appealing. I like the way it's done. It's got a decent amount of AR coating on there, especially for a crystal with a decent bit of domage, which you'll see Yeah, nicely constructed. Again, the second hand alignment is off. Yeah, looks nice, doesn't it, guys? What do you all think? Okay, so guys and girls, that would now take me swiftly on to what I think is pants and Pukka about the watch. If you've ever watched before, you're not always start with pants. I like to go on a high with Pukka. So what I think is pants. Not a great deal. I think it's a good offering, really, especially for the price and stuff. But a couple of things I want to mention is I'm going to go with the mineral crystal. I think for a little bit more, people would have paid for sapphire crystal. I'll be honest. I think it would have, if it deserves it. It looks cool. And I'm going to go with the second hand alignment. The second hand alignment is just off everywhere. I don't think you could have put it to be off any more than it is, to be honest. So yeah, the second hand alignment as well. So they're the two things I'm going to mention. I'm going to go with the mineral crystal and the second hand alignment. What I think is Pukka, quite a bit more, to be honest, because I do really like the way this watch looks and wears. So I'm going to go with the dial. I do like that creamy dial. It looks really nice. Hands and indices. I don't think it's done as well as on the 2063. But that being said, I still think it looks really, really nice because the indices are the same. The hands look very similar apart from the area for the loom. I go with the movement. A Swiss movement in an affordable watch like this is great stuff, isn't it? We'll take that all day long. The date location, like I said, my preferred date location. It doesn't mess up the symmetry of the watch. And for a geezer like me who's got OCD, that's great stuff. The size, like I said, very, very good size. 37, 11 mil thick, 46 mil lug to lug. Yeah, not bad. The general look of the watch, I do think the general look of the watch is great. I think it looks really, really cool. No points for originality, but done really well. And the price, like I said, the price on this is good. Like I say, these watches, I think they represent such good value for money. Because if you're not someone who's a watch collector, you just want a nice little watch that you could use for different things. Don't want to spend a lot. I think companies like Addiesdive really do have you covered, to be honest. So yeah, the things I mentioned. I will also mention, you'll see it come up before, but I will put lug width on terms of pants as well. I should have said that, but that's remiss of me. So let me just mention the things I think are Pukka. I'll go with the dial, hands and indices, movement, date location, size, general look, and the price of the watch. And that'll take me on to, would I recommend this watch? And I don't think it's as good an offering as the AD2063, I'll be honest. It's still really, really nice. If you want a dressy piece with what this has got going on for the price, I think that you're going to love it. And it's like I said, I don't think it's as good as that, but I still think this is a really good offering from Addiesdive. I like what they've done with the logo as well. I like the fact they tailor it now to the watches they're using. Maybe not always, but hopefully they get better at that. So yeah, I would recommend it. I think it's a really cool watch. Yeah, offers an awful lot of value for money. So yeah, what's not to like? But guys and girls, please let me know what you think about this watch. More importantly, and maybe any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as I always say, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and always watch the time. Take care, guys. All the very best.